Jnanakosha, Puranas.
सर्गच्च प्रतिसर्गच्च वंशो मन्वन्तराणि च वंशानुचरितं चैव पुराणं पञ्चलक्षणम्.
Bhagavat Purana, 4th chapter. Description of the clans of Manu's daughters. Maitreya then related the description of Manu's daughters. Manu and Satrupa had 3 daughters, Akuti, Dehavati and Prasuti. Akuti was married to a Prajapati named Ruchi. They begot 2 children, a son and a daughter. Then son later on came to be known as Yajnavatara of Lord Narayana, while the daughter was named Dakshinaya. In due course, Yajna and Dakshayana begot 12 sons, Tosh, Pratosh, Santosh, Bhadra, Shanti, Indrapati, Idham, Kavi, Vibhu, Swaha, Sudheha, and Rochan. Manu's second daughter, Devahati, was married to the sage Kardam. They begot 9 daughters who were married in due course to 9 Prajapatis. One of them, named Kala, was married to the sage Marichi. They begot Kashyapa and Purnima. Their offsprings comprise today's population of the entire world. Gati was the wife of Pulaha. They begot 3 sons, Karmeshta, Varian and Sahishnu. Pleased by the penance of Anasuya and Atri, the 3 Devas, Trinity of Brahma, Vishnu and Lord Shiva, sent their parts as the sons to the hermit couple. Among them, Chandrama appeared from Brahma's part, Dattatreya from Vishnu's part, and sage Durvasa appeared from Lord Shiva's part. To Shraddha and Angira were born 4 daughters, Simavali, Kuhu, Raka and Anumati. They begot 2 sons also, Uttaya and Brihaspati. Havirbhu was married to Pulasya. They begot 2 sons, Agastya and Vishrava. In later course, sage Vishrava produced Yaksharaj Kubera from Idvya, while his second wife Keshani gave birth to Ravana, Kumbhakarna and Vibhishna. Vasistha and his wife Arundhati begot 7 Brahma rishis like Chitraketu. Sage Atharva and his wife Chitti begot a son, Taponishtha. Great sage Bhrigu and his wife Khyati begot 2 sons, Dhata and Vidhata, and a daughter. Sri Manu's 3rd daughter Prasuti was married to Daksha, the son of Lord Brahma. She got 16 daughters. Daksha married 13 of them to Dharma. Of the remaining 3 daughters, one was married to Agni, one to Pitragna and one to Lord Shiva. Shraddha, Maitreyi, Daya, Shanti, Tushti, Pushti, Kriya, Unnati, Buddhi, Medha, Tiksha, Ri and Mruti were the wives of Dharma. Of these, Murti begot the sages Naranarayana. Swaha, the wife of Agni, begot 3 sons, Pavak, Pavaman and Shauchi. 2 daughters were born to Swadha, the wife of Pitragnas. They were named Dharini and Vayuna. These both daughters were Brahma Vadins, expounders of Vedas. Sati, the youngest daughter of Daksha and wife of Mahadeva, however, could not beget any offspring because she had committed immolation in her youth as a protest against her father's misbehavior with her husband Mahadeva. Misbehavior of Daksha Prajapati with Lord Shiva. Misbehavior of Daksha Prajapati with Lord Shiva. Vidura asked Maitreya, Lord Shiva is an idol of peace. He has no enmity with anyone. He is self-indulgent. Why did then Daksha Prajapati misbehave with him? Maitreya said, once a meeting of Brahmavadis was organized along with all the gods. Lord Shiva and Brahma were also present in the meeting. Because of being a Prajapati, Daksha was allowed a late entry in the meeting. However, then Daksha did arrive. All the gods except Brahma and Lord Shiva stood up to pay him regard. Honor by thousands of gods did not please Daksha. As much as he felt insulted the behavior of Lord Shiva. Brahma was the father of Daksha, so he didn't mind his behavior. But seeing Lord Shiva sitting there and not paying due respect to him, Daksha got angry. He said, "He is like my disciple. I have married my daughter to him, but he is uncourteous and irreligious. I committed a blunder by marrying my daughter to him. He smears ashes of fire and roams at the cremation site. Only the ghosts are his companion." Thus Daksha cursed Lord Shiva. May this Lord Shiva not get his due share along with the gods in oblations. Nandi, the prominent among Lord Shiva's servants, cursed Daksha in retaliation. May the unwise Daksha lose his mind and he be like an animal always bound to a woman. Thereafter, indignant Lord Shiva at once left the meeting along with his followers. But still Daksha didn't put the matter at rest. To humble Lord Shiva, he organized a grand yajna named Brihaspati. All the Brahma Rishis, Deva Rishis, Pittars, gods attended the yajna along with their wives. From her abode on Kailash, Sati saw all the gods going through air to the grand occasion. She also learned about the grand yajna organized by her father Daksha. Out of curiosity, she insisted her husband, Lord Shiva, "O Vamadev, your father-in-law, Daksha Prajapati, has organized a grand feast. If you wish, should we also go there to attend the feast? I desire to see my beloved mother, sisters, and other relatives." Lord Shiva replied, "O beautiful, though one may go without invitation to his parents' home, may visit teachers and siblings, but your father resents me, so it is not good if we go there uninvited. I will not tolerate if he humiliates you, so you should not go there, because a humiliation by a near one may cause immediate death." In fact, Sati had a logical mind, while Lord Shiva gave more weightage to faith than logic. Sati even had a doubt regarding God's incarnation as Lord Rama, that how could Brahma, Paramatma, who is the father of all, be a son of any human being? Moreover, how could the Supreme Being be in so much sorrow because of his wife's separation? Lord Shiva and Sati therefore had a sight of Lord Rama in exile. Lord Shiva silently saluted Lord Rama's appearance, while Sati decided to give Rama a test. So, taking a guise of Sita, Sati appeared before Rama. Lord Rama knew everything, so he regarded her as Sati. She also showed her some of his glories. Now Sati had firm belief in Lord Rama. She returned to Lord Shiva and gave her verdict that Lord Rama was indeed an incarnation of the Supreme Being. But Lord Shiva was much disturbed by Sati because of her taking the guise of Sita. Lord Shiva had therefore acquired an indifferent stance towards Sati. Thus he was feeling anguished by Lord Shiva's behavior. Hence she prayed silently, "O Lord, may my body be destroyed soon, as this body is not able to serve Lord Shiva." Hence, when she heard about the grand feast organized by her father in abject violation of her husband's dictate, Sati got ready to attend the feast. Lord Shiva too sent her with a lot of gifts and servants. There at Daksha's palace, Sati found that all were ignoring her because of her father's fear. Even her sisters laughed at her for coming alone. In all, Sati found nothing favorable in her father's home. Only her mother welcomed her, that too in isolation. Indignant, Sati went straight to the Yajna Mandap and found that no seat had been allotted there for Lord Shiva. With anger, she said, even the mere name of Lord Shiva is enough to destroy all the sins of the humans. No one can violate his dictate, and you, O Father, feel jealous of such an auspicious figure? Holy Lord Shiva, who is soul of every living being, I am ashamed of having this body produced from an opponent of Lord Shiva, like you. Saying these words, Sati threw herself in the flames of Yajna Agni. Thereafter, Lord Shiva's Ganas destroyed the Yajna. They beheaded Daksha and dropped his head in the altar. Other gods and sages were also punished for showing disrespect for Lord Shiva. Ultimately, Lord Brahma, accompanied by the gods, went to Kailash and pacified Lord Shiva. Ashutosh, Lord Shiva, granted them a boon to carry the yajna to completion. In her next birth, Sati was born in the home of Himalayas. She was named as Parvati, sober, cool, and idol of faith. Mata Parvati dedicated herself fully to Lord Shiva. Narada gave her a talisman to get Lord Shiva as her husband. Lord Narayana himself requested Lord Shiva to accept Parvati as his wife. Lord Shiva accepted to get married with Parvati. Thus, through hard penance, Mata Parvati got Lord Shiva as her husband. In due course, the auspicious marriage of Mata Parvati with Lord Shiva took place. Tale of Dhruva. The self-begotten Manu had two sons, Privrata and Uttanapada. King Uttanapada had two queens, Suniti and Suruchi. Uttanapada loved Suruchi more than he loved Suniti. So Suniti was forced to live outside the royal palace with her son Dhruva, while Suruchi and her son Uttam enjoyed all the luxuries in the palace. Once the king was playing with his son Uttam, who was sitting in his lap. Meanwhile, Dhruva too arrived there and began insisting to sit in his father's lap. But the fear of Suruchi, the king did not take Dhruva in his lap. Just then Suruchi too arrived there. Strutting at her fortune, she ridiculed Dhruva. Though you are also a son of the king, but you have no right to sit on the throne because you are not born to me. You are the son of Queen Suniti, who is neglected by the king and now lives like a mistress. So your desire is hard to accomplish. Even then, if you wish to have the throne, you begin to worship Lord Narayana and take birth through me by his grace, and then wait for your chance to sit in the king's lap. Hurt by his stepmother's harsh words, Dhruva came to his mother crying. When Suniti heard about the incident, she felt very sorry. Still with patience, she consoled her son Dhruva. Oh my son, don't wish ill for the others. Those who cause sorrow for others have to face the outcome themselves one day. Your stepmother is right. You have been born to me. Even then, if you wished to be enthroned like the Prince Uttam, give up your jealousy and start worshipping Lord Narayana. Even your grandfather Manu and great-grandfather Lord Brahma worshipped him. Only Lord Narayana can remove your sorrow. Mother's words shook the conscience of Dhruva. He at once set out with firm determination to please Sri Hari by penance. Leaving the town while going in search of solitude, he met Devarishi Narada in the way. Dhruva respectfully greeted Narada. Narada lovingly caressed his head and tried to test his determination. Narada tried everything to convince Dhruva to send him back to home, but he failed to shake the firm determination of the boy. Then, with kindness, Narada preached Dhruva about Lord's appearance and gave him a mantra. Thus, Narada performed his duty as Guru, and blessing Dhruva, he disappeared. Dhruva arrived in Madhuvan and took a seat under a Kadamba tree on the bank of the river Yamuna. There he began to recite the mantra and meditation. During the first month he ate roots and tubers. In the second month he ate dried leaves. During the third month he managed with Yamuna's water. During the fourth month he sustained himself on the air only. Dhruva even stopped breathing. Now standing on one leg only, he was fully concentrated in Lord Vasudeva. At the moment when Dhruva stopped breathing and concentrated in Parabrahma, all the three worlds shook with fear. All the gods ran to the refuge of Lord. Because of stopping of breath, all the organisms stood still. Assuring them not to be afraid, Lord arrived in Madhuvan to see his beloved devotee Dhruva. Seeing the Lord himself arrived before him, Dhruva's eyes filled with tears. He said, "O Lord, I don't know how to worship you." Lord touched his cheek with his conch. With that, Dhruva came to realize the glory of God. With complete devotion and folded hands, he worshipped Sri Hari. I salute to such an omnipotent, omnipresent, and all-knowing Lord, whose power is present in everybody, and who, entering my heart, revived my speech. Pleased by his prayer, Lord stroked Dhruva's head and said, "Your desire shall materialize. After enjoying your kingdom, you shall come to my abode, which is far above the Saptarishis." Then, by God's permission, Dhruva returned to his father's palace. There he was given a grand welcome. Everyone wants to be kind with the one who has God's grace. His father handed him the kingdom of the entire earth. His brother Uttam had gone to the forest for hunting, where the Yakshas killed him. Indignant by his brother's death, Dhruva at once launched an attack on the Yakshas. But his grandfather consoled him that the devotees of God don't long for revenge. Thereafter, Dhruva ruled the earth for a period of 36,000 years. Even death bowed before him. Indeed, the devotees of God have no fear of death. The death fears them on the contrary. Tale of the Prithu. In the lineage of the king Dhruva had occurred a king named Anga. Anga's wife was Sumita, who was the daughter of Maitreya Deva. They had a son named Vena, who was evil in nature. When he grew up and occupied the throne, he became a very cruel ruler. Day by day his atrocities increased when he began to openly insult the great men. When his atrocities became uncontrollable, sages killed him by their curse to save the people. Thereafter the sages churned Vena's dead body and produced a couple, a man and a woman. The man was born by the world-preserving part of Lord Vishnu. He came to be known as Prithu. He got an extremely pretty wife, Archi. Prithu was the Acharya, master of the Lord Archan Bhakti. With his occupying the throne, the subjects became religious, happy, and moral abiding people. Everything was going well in his kingdom. When one day the farmers approached him and complained, "O king, the earth has grown rude. She does not give us cereals, even though we sow a lot of seeds in every season. She eats them all." King Prithu set out at once to chastise the earth, who ran in the form of a cow to save herself. Scolding at her, King Prithu said, "Vasudha, I will kill you. You have violated my rule." The earth then came to his shelter and begged for pardon. O king, it is not my fault. My fertility has ended because of the sins of the king Vena. Now I am present before you in the form of a cow. Now you please exploit me fully to make everybody happy. King Prithu resolved then and there to perform 100 Ashwamedha yajnas. His 99 yajnas completed unabatedly, but during the 100th yajna, Indra kidnapped the horse deceitfully. Indra had himself performed 100 Ashwamedha yajnas. He could not tolerate anybody equaling him, for then the performer would have equal claim as Indrashana. Prithu's son was Vijitashva. He had seen Indra stealing the horse deceitfully. He even chased Indra for some distance, but Indra transformed himself into a hermit. Somehow the oblation completed and God appeared and asked the king to seek a boon. King Prithu begged, O Lord, my soul remains unsatiated by your tale. So if you are pleased with me, kindly give me a hearing equal to the hearings of 10,000 years. Sanakadhiks preached knowledge to the king Prithu. Thereafter, fostering his subjects religiously, King Prithu ruled the earth for 1,000 years. During the rule, king's popularity spread in leaps and bounds. At last he got the supreme position of God. Thus narrating the tale of Prithu, Maitreya says to Vidura, those who listen to this tale of Prithu that shows the glory of God get a strong affection for God and receive salvation ultimately like Prithu. Fable of Puranjana. King Prithu's son was Vijatashu. In his lineage later on occurred a king named Prachin Bharahi. King Prachin Bharahi had many sons. All of them were known as Prachetas. They were all devotees of God and had been sunk in devotion since their childhood. Pleased by their devotion, once Lord Shiva appeared before them. With simplicity, Prachetas asked, O Lord of the Lord, we have been worshipping Narayana. How did you arrive before us? Lord Shiva said, those who have devotion for Narayana are also dear to me. Thereafter Lord Shiva gave them Rudra Gita, which the Prachetas continued to sing for years immersed in the water. King Pratibhari had a great interest in oblations that involved sacrifice. One day Devarishi Narada asked him, what are you doing, O king? Miseries don't end by action alone, nor does one get supreme joy. The animals which you have sacrificed for your oblations also feel the pain given by you. They are all waiting for you in the heaven. When you go there after death, they will take revenge one by one. Frightened by these words, King Prachin Bharahi took shelter at Narada and said, Devarashi, my mind is caught in the action. You kindly show me the way to the supreme salvation. At the request of the king, Narada narrated him the tale of Vigyat and Avigyat. At the behest of Vigyat migrated to and settled in a beautiful city. There he met the queen Puranjani and got married to her, who was so much indulged in sensual pleasures with Puranjani that he became a woman in the next birth. As a woman, Vigyat got married to Duke Kos but was widowed soon. She wanted to commit sati, but people prevented her. One day she was travelling on an elephant when she spotted some swans in the sky. She asked the Mahout to look at them. As soon as the Mahout's attention diverted, the elephant got out of control and both of them fell on the ground and died. As she was looking at the swans at her last time, she became a swan in her next birth. As a swan, she reached the lake Manasarovar, where she met her old friend Avighat, who consoled the swan. You are neither a man nor a woman. You are both swans now. We are both swans now. You are same as me, no different from me. It means that there is no difference between the living beings and the God. There is only one soul. It's because of non-knowledge that one sees the God and the living beings differently. Thus cautioned by his friend Avikhyat, Vikhyat realized and accepted his incarnation as a swan. But the king, Prachibhari, didn't get the meaning of the spiritual tale. Narada then revealed, God is Avikhyat while Macrocosm is Vikhyat. Avikhyat has established 84 lakhs cities and asked Vikhyat to select any one of them. After sorting lakhs of cities, the macrocosm selected a city like a human body. That city has a lake in the center, the belly from where the whole city is controlled. Again, it has 9 gates, 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 1 mouth, 2 ears, 1 reproductive organ, and 1 anus. It is such a highway treading which no one returns. It has 2 courtiers, mind and ego. The living being passes his life caught between them. Queen Puranjani is the intellect in this body. Because of this intellect or non-knowledge, the living being or microcosm begins to feel in terms of I, my and me for his body and organs. All the 10 organs are his friends, through which the living being experiences the sensation and performs action. Inclinations of the organs are his friends. All the 5 Puranas are the 5-hooded serpent that guards the body. Old age is Kanaya, who launches an attack on the city. Shoka and Moha are the 2 brothers of Kalkanya. Kalkanya is married to Chandaveg, who is also known as Varsha. It has 360 Gandharvas. 12 months are his 12 commanders and 7 days are the ministers. They all together plunder the human body like the city of Puranjan. Thus covered by Anjana, the living being, which has a great pride on his body, virtually wastes his life suffering different kinds of pains. From this mystical preaching, Prachina Bharaha, inclination for Vedic karmakans and temptation for mundane luxuries were removed. By the grace of Devarishi Narada, the king got a perception of God, a living being. He at once abdicated his attachment for the body and concentrated his mind in God.